Lindsay, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody about how you got into long-term care?
Sure, absolutely. Well, my name is Lindsay Dymowski. I actually grew up in independent pharmacies. So being in long-term care was something that I never expected, but here we are. Uh, my family had, multiple
Yeah.
independent pharmacies while I was growing up, and I was that little girl making my allowance at the cash register, making sure
Very
that
common. So I feel like so many of them are like, I grew up in the shelves of the
it's
pharmacy.
true.
Yeah.
It's true. Some kids had to make their beds. I had to go put the pills on the shelf. It was that's how I grew up. Um, and when I was in college, my family and I actually started to do some more like medication management services and organization. So we were filling pill boxes, and then we started getting into kind of like manual blister pouches.
Yep.
And we started looking into how technology could advance what we were doing. So we ended up looking into pouch packaging. We got pouch packaging into our pharmacy, and then we started to go to the hospital systems, the payers, different people within the integrated health network in Philadelphia, because we were so fortunate to be in Philly, which is a huge healthcare hub.
Yep.
We started working with different organizations and saying, we can actually help you. We can help the patient stay adherent, which is going to help your metrics. It's going to not only support the providers, but it's going to support the health of the patients. And let's start to see what we can do here. We were able to get several hundred people within the first year onto our program. And at that point, we knew that we had something different. So we started to market ourselves as a medication management company. We launched Centennial Pharmacy Services, and we actually decided to go closed door because what we were doing was providing different level of support to patients than you would typically see at a retail pharmacy. So we decided to go closed door, but still support community patients. And that's how we got into long-term care at home. We really just wanted to jump right into working with the PSAOs in a deeper way to be able to prove that this model was a real model and it could be successful and it could be beneficial to not only the outcomes of the patients, but the outcomes of the plans with their total health spend savings.
That's really awesome. So do you still do the community pharmacy component today, like a normal retail pharmacy, or are you guys 100% switched to a closed door?
We have 100% switched to closed door, but that's what makes long-term care at home so interesting is that you're still part of the community. So we're still embedded in the community in the sense that the providers know where we are. The patients know that we have a physical location. It's not, back in a warehouse or anything like that. And we're still part of community events. We're still seen as a community pharmacy, but we just provide this greater level of support that enables the patient to live more independently in their home for longer.
That's awesome. So can you describe for folks who might not know what the difference is when you say we're closed door? Like, how does that impact licensing? How does that impact sort of your operations?
So essentially, closed-door pharmacy, you don't allow public prescriptions in. So you don't necessarily allow a patient to come in and hand a prescription over the counter. Everything that you receive is directly from the doctors, and you're dealing directly to the typically facilities.
Right.
But now we're able to do patients in their home at the community by delivering that medication out. So no patient is specifically coming to the pharmacy to pick up a prescription. It is different licensing. So you have your retail MPI and you have your long-term care MPI. And that long-term care MPI is what we operate under with a closed door pharmacy versus retail.
Yeah, that's very cool.